and he is from Sierra Leone, a very famous human rights activist, a guy who fights for peace and justice. He's also a big brother to all of us here. A guy who can be very provoking, who can be very irritable, at the same time, a great supporter of all of us. Let's give Lamin a big round of applause.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Lamin from Sierra Leone. I use football as a tool to organize, empower young people so that they can be critical, they can be independent, and they can be self-reliant so that they can contribute actively to building a new Sierra Leone. A Sierra Leone that works across tribal lines. A Sierra Leone that responds to the needs of its citizens. Young people in my country, particularly youths from poor rural communities, during the 10 years war, went through very serious challenges. They were made victims and perpetrators of some of the most serious crimes committed in human history after the Second World War. Let us see what these young people went through from 1991 to 2002. Yes, we want peace. This is what my country yearns for. These children are today the youths and young people of my country. They want job. They want to bring up healthy families. They want to contribute to the development of the country and their communities. They want to live in a country where they have peace. But how can they, when they grew up in a country that provided them weapons, gave them drugs to take, how can they, when they grew up in a country that only knew war and violence, how can they, when they grew up in a country that they didn't give them the opportunity of learning any skill. Imagine the gorgeous little children growing up in the country, being raised by parents traumatized by war and torn apart by poverty. Is there any hope? Yes, there is a way. But let us look at what made this country, what made my country take this self-destructive and shameful path. Sierra Leone is a small country with a population of about 6 million people. It has huge natural resources, including oil, bauxite, gold, iron ore, with some of the richest diamond fields in the world. It has a tropical climate that has abundant rainfall and sunshine suitable for agriculture. It has beautiful lakes, beautiful beaches, with some sanctuaries having some of the rare birds and animals in the world. This country was hijacked by a political class by 1970. The leaders were unaccountable, they were dictatorial, they ran the economy and the educational system of the country, and all the social services collapsed, making the country the poorest in the world with a life expectancy of 37. They used tribalism and ethnicity to spread misinformation and suspicion, mistrust among communities, so that they continue to stay in power and control the huge resources of the country. Sierra Leone has 16 tribes. Each of the tribes have different values and different cultures. These people cannot easily work together. They cannot work together, and very often we are in conflict with each other because of tribe. Is this healthy for any country? Is this healthy for any nation? No. But there is a solution. By 1998, during the Civil War, the senseless killings, rape, and propaganda spread by the warlords had succeeded in dividing the country along tribal lines. Communities and groups we have organized into self-help groups, human rights groups, advocacy groups, all fell apart. We were not able to come together. It was during that time, as a youth worker, that I organized a football match. My aim at that point was to bring these young people together so that they can have fun, play together, and just relax. Can you imagine what I saw? Can you imagine what I discovered? Huge crowds of people from the community. People who only a few minutes ago would not talk to each other because of the tribe came together to the field. They were jumping, hugging each other, shouting and dancing and singing as they relate to one of the players of the field. I moved away from the field, sat on a rock, overlooking the players. This time actually not focusing on the players, but reflecting on the power this thing called football has in connecting people, in helping people overcome barriers, in helping people overcome stereotypes. Since that time, I have been engaged in using football to promote issues like girl child education, issues like non-violent election campaigns. Football, for us in Sierra Leone, is more than a game. It is like a religion. The concept of using this football as a tool to help young people overcome poverty, as a tool to help us recognize and appreciate our tribal differences, has always accompanied me. Then I heard about Kantari as a self-learning institution, as an institution for self-discovery, for people who have gone through adversaries, but have the guts, have fire in their guts to come out and contribute to making change in their communities and the country. I then came to Kantari. In Kantari, I have been helped by the catalyst and my co-participants to help me structure my thought of using football as an instrument of building peace, as a tool of helping young people overcome their poverty, of helping young people overcome the issues connected with their unemployability. This has resulted into the formation of an organization called SCORE Sierra Leone. SCORE Sierra Leone, we work primarily with young people who have been child soldiers or children of child soldiers, young people who are dropped out of school, young people who lack employable skills, young people who are today roaming the streets of our major cities with no job and no education, and sometimes no roof over their heads. When I get back, I will organize these people into 4 teams. 2 teams of boys and 2 teams of girls. Each of these teams will be made up of 16 people, 1 from each of the 16 tribes in the country. We will use the rules the children learn on the football field, the values they learn in the football field, rules like fair play, rules like working in solidarity and working in a team, cooperation skills, communication skills, leadership skills. We will help those people apply these things in their lives. I envision in Sierra Leone where these young people grow up into leaders who are able to use the huge resources of the country for the benefit of everyone, providing the needed social services. I see these young people growing up as individual citizens who are actively participating in all aspects of society, so that they build a new Sierra Leone that recognizes and accepts our tribal differences, a new Sierra Leone that builds upon our tribal differences as a strength and not a tool or division. I see in Sierra Leone parents waking up in the morning, teachers telling children in their school assemblies, faith-based leaders telling adolescents and young children, giving them this information: keep the ball, not your friend. Thank you very much.